For Husker Football Countdown, I'm Hunter Cave. In 1984, the Miami Hurricanes won the national championship after Turner Gill's two-point conversion pass dropped to the turf of the Orange Bowl to give the U a 31-30 victory over the Huskers. I had the opportunity to interview a member of that 83 Husker scoring explosion team. However, Ricky Simmons, a three-time letter winner under Coach Tom Osborne, has a story that goes much deeper than football.
I'm from Greenville, Texas originally. Came to Nebraska on a football scholarship. Lettered 3 years, and I got picked up by the Atlanta Falcons. And in my first season with the Falcons, a drug addiction took over my life. I went from the NFL to prison 4 times. I went to 10 drug treatment centers. Coach Osborne wrote a letter to me when I was in prison the last time. From that point on, I turned my life around. Got out of prison, and now I'm a licensed drug and alcohol counselor and a motivational speaker, and I go all over the country speaking to youth and adults about the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse.
Before all of that happened, however, Ricky was like any other teenage boy. And like all teenage boys, Ricky knew better than everyone, especially his parents.
I had all the answers. No one could tell me nothing, especially my parents, because in my mind as a teenager, I was smarter than my parents. So I charted my own path, and that's what led me down some of the roads that I went, which weren't good for me at all.
He had lost everything, and according to Ricky himself, he had hit rock bottom. However, after that letter from Coach Osborne, Simmons finally started to pick himself up out of the dirt.
5.5 years ago, I turned it all around. I've been clean and sober 5.5 years now.
Today, he is a motivational speaker, and he uses a combination of inspiration and first-hand accounts to steer adolescents away from drugs. Of course, for Ricky Simmons, coming clean with himself years ago makes this part of his job quite enjoyable, and he doesn't accept excuses from his audience.
I really like speaking because I'm not a hypocrite. I practice what I preach. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I don't encourage anyone to do that. After I speak, I do not know or I didn't know is no longer an excuse for you.
When the conversation drifted towards football, Simmons gave remarkable insight to the two-point conversion call that cost the Huskers the national championship.
And we had a choice. We could kick an extra point, tie the game, probably win the national championship. But we went for 2 and didn't get it. But I'm okay with that because we didn't go down there to tie. We went to win. The fact that it didn't go our way, that's just sports.
Simmons became very close friends with the rather famous Husker and Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier, someone that Mr. Simmons took great pride in taking the field with.
Man, it was an honor, really, because this guy was he was a man amongst boys. He was a very physical man, but even more a better person. He was physical on the football field, but I got a chance to know him on and off the field. I think he was an even better person than he was a football player. He was the type of guy that would always go that extra step to help someone else. If you needed something and Mike had it, it was done.
Highly talented running backs with a great work ethic and a good head on their shoulders is something the Huskers have never lacked. But with the whispers in the wind that Nebraska's current I-back Amir Abdullah could be a dark horse for the Heisman, I took the chance to ask Mr. Simmons if he thought it was even possible to compare Abdullah to such a legendary talent as Rozier.
I watch Abdullah, and this guy, he bring it every game. He come out there and give you 100% every game, and that I admire. But what I admire the most is you don't hear a lot of off-field negativity about him. He's not getting into trouble. I like that about him, man. He's like a class act, and that's the way I look at Mike, a class act. If you're out there taking care of your business on the field, you don't have to do no extra talking after the game. Your play did your talking for you during the game.
After listening to Mr. Simmons' story, it becomes very difficult to make an excuse for the situation you're in. But, as Ricky says, it's just another day in paradise. For Husker Football Countdown, I'm Hunter Cave.